The final days of Mobutu Sese Seko in exile in Morocco. The fall of Field Marshal Mobutu Sese Seko Kuku Ngbendu wa Za Banga in May 1997 was one of the most definitive and dramatic conclusions to the Cold War era in Africa. After 32 years of absolute, often brutal, and fantastically corrupt rule over the country he had rebranded Zaire, the Leopard's reign ended not with a bang, but a scramble. The advancing forces of Laurent-Désiré Kabila's Alliance of Democratic Forces for the Liberation of Congo, AFDL, rapidly closed in on the capital, Kinshasa, rendering Mobutu's position completely untenable. Already gravely ill with advanced prostate cancer, Mobutu was a shadow of the powerful, cane-wielding, stick-carrying figure who once commanded the global stage. Having spent much of the final year of his rule cycling between Europe for surgery and intensive therapy, in Switzerland and France, and his collapsing nation, his escape was not an act of defiant leadership, but one of survival. The retreat and the flight to Rabat. Initially, upon his official ouster on May 16, 1997, Mobutu retreated to the palace in Badalite, his infamous Versailles in the jungle, located in the remote depths of Zaire's Equateur region. This vast, decadent complex, once the symbol of his untouchable power and staggering personal wealth, could no longer offer protection. Within hours, the dictator realized the jungle too was closing in. His final international escape route led him to an unlikely but politically secure sanctuary, Rabat, Morocco. His acceptance into exile was not a matter of international protocol or humanitarian concern, deeply personal arrangement cemented by years of mutual strategic benefit and friendship with King Hassan II of Morocco. The bond with King Hassan II. A debt repaid. The relationship between Mobutu and King Hassan II was a cornerstone of Cold War-era African diplomacy. Mobutu's son described the bond as very deep, noting that King Hassan II treated the family with great kindness and was like a father figure to Mobutu. This personal connection was crucial in securing his final refuge. Crucially, this bond had a history of military and political reliance. Shaba Wars, 1977 and 1978, when Mobutu's regime was threatened by Katangan rebels invading from Angola, King Hassan II provided crucial military support. Moroccan troops were sent to help repel the rebels, a direct intervention that helped save Mobutu's faltering regime at a time when he needed external assistance most. The 1978 Shaba invasion, in particular, saw a significant military airlift operation that highlighted Rabat's commitment to Mobutu. Historical ties, 1960. The connection between the two countries' forces dated back to Congo's independence, when Moroccan soldiers had played a significant role during the Congo crisis, interacting with a young Mobutu, who was then a rising star in the Congolese military. By offering asylum, King Hassan II was, in many ways, repaying a generational political debt while upholding the tradition of elite patronage among African rulers. Mobutu, the former CIA asset and Western darling, had finally run out of geopolitical friends. His only remaining haven was the home of a personal ally. The Gilded Cage. Life in Moroccan exile. Mobutu's life in Rabat was one of profound and isolating contrast to his years of spectacle in Zaire. The man who was once known as the Leopard of Zaire, and whose name literally translated to the all-powerful warrior who, because of his endurance and inflexible will to win, shall go from conquest to conquest, leaving fire in his wake, was now simply a patient. He was hosted in a secure area of Rabat, likely in one of the wealthy villas along the wide, palm tree-lined alleys. The environment was meticulously protected by guards, but the once constant clamor of soldiers, ministers, and petitioners was gone. The silence and isolation. The text notes the profound atmosphere. Time seems to have stopped. The silence, once a luxury reserved for his secluded palaces, was now a constant reality, occasionally interrupted by a whistling garden hose or a rustling door at one of the booths for the guards. The halls that were once filled with the cars of ministers, generals and other senior government officials, were quiet, reflecting the abrupt loss of his entourage and power. Medical confinement. Mobutu had little time for reflection or diplomacy. He was admitted to Mohammed V Military Hospital in late June for treatment of internal bleeding related to his cancer and never left. His focus was no longer on international politics or reclaiming his throne, but on managing the inevitable decline of his body. The family presence. He was not alone. His second wife and widow, Bobi Ladawa, was with him. The presence of his wife and family was likely the last comfort of a man accustomed to having an entire nation at his command. Death and the perpetual exile. Mobutu Sese Seko died in the Mohammed V Military Hospital in Rabat on September 7, 1997, at the age of 66. His death came barely 4 months after his overthrow, bringing a swift and anticlimactic end to the life of a man whose rule had seemed eternal. The official Moroccan news agency simply stated that he died after a long illness, offering no further details on the final moments of the former field marshal. His death, in a foreign hospital and on foreign soil, sealed his fate as a ruler in permanent exile. The burial at Cimetière Européen. The most poignant symbol of his final, lasting exile is his burial site. Mobutu was buried in the Christian cemetery, Cimetière Européen, in Rabat. The mausoleum. His tomb is not a grand Zairean monument but a marble mausoleum in a quiet corner of a foreign cemetery. This is a powerful, final metaphor. The man who created a cult of authenticity, or authenticite, and Africanized all names and symbols in his country, lies buried under foreign marble, next to the graves of European expats. The family guard. The cemetery, now the official resting place of the former Zairean royal family, continues to be visited by his surviving kin. His wife, Bobi Ladawa, visits the tomb regularly. More tragically, 2 of his sons are also buried there, Kongolu and likely Ndokula, or another son who died in exile, adding to the sense that the Mobutu dynasty itself remains scattered and permanently exiled in Morocco. In the silent streets of Rabat, away from the glare of international media and the roar of the Congolese political machine, the legacy of Mobutu Sese Seko rests in a tranquil, almost forgotten marble tomb, a quiet end for a very loud king.